Hey, baby. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm just writing a script for a new audio for our community. How about you? What are you up to? Love? Love? Baby, what's wrong? Come on, you can tell me. Oh, you're feeling a bit anxious? No, babe, it's okay. Love, it's okay. I'm right here. I'm here. Babe, it's okay. You don't need to apologize. I understand. Hey, you're there for me when I get anxious too, right? Mm-hmm. Besides, you know that there's a ton of cosmic activity in the air right now with all of these eclipses. I think there's Mercury retrograde, and I mean, the full moon is coming up too. I mean, you know how I get during the lunar cycles. Yeah, my body is like getting really tense. I feel the full moon's energy building up. So, believe me, all of it is affecting me too. Have you been outside today? Good. You want to breathe with me for a little bit? Okay. Well, get nice and comfy, love. There you go. Just relax. Okay. We're going to take 4 deep breaths in, all right? In through your nose and out through your mouth. You ready? Okay. 1. 2. 3. 4. 'Shall we do one more for the road? Okay. Breathe in. And out. Great job, baby. There you go. That's it. Just keep breathing, love. Hey, I know you and I have our own schedule, and I know we love pouring into our online family, but content creators, we need to take a mental health day too. I know it's easy to forget because we're remote, but it's so important too, with all the creativity just rushing through our brain all the time, Mental health days are important. Shoot, We empaths need to take an energetic health day. Actually, that applies to everyone. I think everybody should take an energetic health day. Yeah. But we've been so programmed to, operate from our masculine energy, everybody, that we're so numb to our body, and we don't check in how our body's really feeling. But there's definitely a shift going on. Yeah. A lot of people are starting to realize that it doesn't have to be that way, How do you feel? A bit better? Good. Is there anything I can do specifically to help you feel a little lighter? Just being on the phone with me is everything. I love you. You're so cute. Hey, I've been uploading some sleep aid audios to our community. Yeah, the ones that I had you screen, those scripts, yeah. They're reading you to sleep. And some people seem to really like them. Yeah. Would it help if I read to you a little bit? Maybe that'll make you feel a little lighter. Okay. Are you in the mood for anything specific? Something soft. Okay. How about fantasy, like children's fantasy? Yeah? Sound good? Okay. Let me go see what I have. Let me see. I have quite a few children's books that my mom used to read to me, that she left me. And then I have some first editions that she just gave to me for my new place. Okay. How about this one? Best in Children's Books. Yeah? Okay. Let's try this one. Okay. Now, I apologize beforehand if I screw up on any pronunciations. But if not, we can enjoy a nice laugh. I've actually never read this book. Yeah. I think that she got these books, or like all these like first editions, either at the thrift shop or like a garage sale, or maybe somebody just gave them to her. I mean, she is a teacher, so she's always getting stuff, and she never gets rid of her books unless she's giving them away. Okay. All right, you comfy, baby? Okay. All right. The best in children's books. By Nelson Doubleday. And this was published in 1959. Okay, so we have quite a few here. Do you want me to list them and then you choose, or do you just want me to choose one? Just choose one? Okay. How about we do Tell Me About the Sky? This one is from Ellen Wales Walpole. Okay. All right, page 85. I've never heard of this story. We'll see how long they are. Maybe I'll read you a few. Let's see if this helps you feel less anxious. All right. Tell Me About the Sky by Ellen Wales Walpole. Illustrated by Jack Wolfgang Beck. How high is the sky? The very early men used to think that if they climbed up high enough, they could touch the sky. They thought that perhaps the sky rested upon the tops of the high mountains. As they had never been to the tops of the high mountains, they had no way of knowing if they were right. Later men thought the sky was a great dome shaped like an upside-down cup. Now we know that we cannot touch the sky at all. If we traveled up and up and up, we should never bump against it. It is just air and space going on and on. So far as we know, it has no end and no beginning. The sky stretches on all sides of our earth. It is all around the earth. It is far bigger than we can understand. Our whole earth, which seems to us to be so big, is like a tiny, tiny grain of sand in the sky. Think of all these things when you look at the sky in daytime or at night. How high does the air go? The kind of air that we breathe reaches up to about 6 miles high. As it gets higher, it gets cooler. It also gets thinner. It is not easy for people or other animals to breathe much higher than 2 miles. Pilots of planes that fly very high have to take along special air for them to breathe. People who climb very high mountains have to take along special air to breathe too. Most of the clouds that we see do not go higher than 6 miles. I didn't know that. Although we cannot see it, we know that air is made up of a number of gases. All animals and plants need air to keep alive. That is one of the reasons that there are no living creatures above the air. Above the air that we breathe, there is a different layer of air that reaches up for hundreds of miles beyond our earth. Why does a balloon go up into the air? The air around us is made up of a number of different gases. In the air we breathe, they are mixed together. But it is possible to separate the air into its different gases. Some of these gases are heavier than others. When these heavier gases are separated from the air, they sink down to the ground just as a heavy piece of iron will sink to the bottom of a pail of water. Some of the gases are lighter than others. They are lighter than the air. When these lighter gases are separated from the air, they rise or float, just as a cork will rise and float in a pail of water. If you fill a balloon with one of the lighter gases, it will rise in the air and float. It will rise just as a cork rises to the top of water. Be sure to hold on tight to the string, or the balloon will rise up and float off into the sky. where does the wind come from? The wind can blow on you from any direction. If it comes from the south, we say it is a south wind. The south wind is mostly warm and gentle. If it comes from the north, we say it is a north wind. The north wind is often cold and full of snow. If it comes from the east, we say it is an east wind. An east wind can be cold and damp. If it comes from the west, we say it is a west wind. The west wind is often gentle and mild. We have a west wind more often than any other. The wind is really air rushing about from place to place. When the air in one place becomes hot, it gets bigger. It needs more space, so it rises higher. As it does this, it leaves a space below. Cooler air then rushes in to fill up the space. This new air is the wind. When the space is filled, the wind dies down and the air becomes calm. What makes a thunderstorm? Thunderstorms happen when the air near the earth changes place with air that is higher up. In summer, the air near the ground gets very hot. Hot air always rises. If the air above it is cool, it has to push its way through the cool air. Most thunderstorms are alike, though some are bigger than others. On hot summer days, great fluffy clouds begin to pile up. They get darker and darker till they seem to shut out the sun. There are thunder and lightning. Usually there is rain. Sometimes there is hail too. The wind becomes stronger. It may become strong enough to blow branches off the trees. Soon it is all over. The wind dies down. The dark clouds drift away. The rain stops. The sky becomes clear again. It is fun to watch a thunderstorm from start to finish. Watch the clouds darken, hear the thunder, see the sky clear. What is a tornado? A tornado is a small, very fierce storm. The wind in a tornado whirls round and round at a great rate. In the middle of a tornado, the air moves straight upward. You can see the middle of a tornado coming from a long way off. It is like a dark tunnel-shaped whirlwind reaching down from the cloud to the ground. It rushes along, twisting and turning as it goes. People who live in places where tornadoes often come call them twisters. They have storm cellars underground to which they go till the tornado is over. A tornado can lift a house high up in the air. Sometimes tornadoes set houses down again miles away, unharmed. Though a tornado can do much damage, it is all over in about half a minute. Wow. This is more of like an educational book than it is a fantasy. It's pretty cool though. Is a hurricane angry? A hurricane is a great storm. It is part of the weather. It cannot feel anything at all. It does not feel angry any more than a sunny day feels pleased. A hurricane is a great whirl of air moving around at a fast rate. It can be so large that it may cover hundreds of miles. It may last as long as 24 hours. The wind in a hurricane is so strong that it can do a great deal of damage. Houses have been blown to bits by hurricanes. Whole crops have been spoiled. Usually, the weathermen are able to tell when a hurricane is coming. They can give the people hours of warning so that they can be ready for it. Hurricanes start over the oceans. Most of them stay over the ocean till they are all worn out. Only a few ever come near the land. I didn't know that. When they do, the Coast Guard sends out warnings. People wait in shelters till the hurricane has died down. How you doing, love? Yeah? Okay, just keep breathing, okay? Where does a rainbow come from? Have you ever seen a strip of color that a bright light makes on a goldfish bowl? Perhaps you have seen these little bands of color on pieces of cut glass, or sometimes even at the edge of a glass or jug of water. These little bands of bright color are really rainbows. Strange as it may seem to you, the clear, bright light of day is made up of bright colors. Sometimes it is possible to see the different colors. Cut glass or clear water will sometimes show them to us. A cloud of raindrops will sometimes reflect the colors of light. They show them in the beautiful arch of color that we call the rainbow. The colors that make up the rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The next time there is a shower, go outside and look for the colors of the rainbow. What is the sun made of? The sun is made of hot, burning fire. The fire is made of flaming gases. The sun is not solid like the earth. You could not walk on it even if it were cool enough for you to do so. It is about as solid as water. The blazing gases that make up the sun are always moving around. Sometimes great tongues of fire thousands of miles high leap up from the sun. But the sun is so large that this hardly makes any difference in its shape. The sun looks about as large as a pie to us, yet it is almost 1.5 million times larger than our Earth. Our sun is a star. It is like millions and millions of other stars in the sky. It is not even a large star. Compared with other stars, it is rather a small star. Like all other stars, our sun turns round and round at great speed. It keeps moving along a path of its own, just as our Earth moves along its own path. Why doesn't the sun shine at night? Our Earth is a great ball spinning round in the sky. People are very small things living and walking on the Earth. The sun is another great ball in the sky. It is a long way from the Earth. It is much bigger than the Earth. It sheds light and warmth on the Earth. As the Earth turns around, first one side, then the other is facing the sun. When our piece of Earth is facing the sunlight falls on us, and it is day. As the Earth turns, we go around into shade, which is night. The people on some other part of the Earth are in daylight. The Earth goes on turning, and we come out of the shade, which is night, into the light, which is day. Just as surely as the night follows the day, so will the day follow the night. The sun does not shine on us at night because we are facing the other way. Why does the moon change? Oh, I'm actually interested to hear this. The moon is a great ball in the sky. It is not so large as our Earth, and it is not made up of fire like the sun. It cannot give off any light of its own. All it can do is to reflect the light of the sun. It does this just as a mirror reflects things. Only half of the moon is facing the sun at one time. That side is in bright light. The other side is in dark shade. The moon goes in a circle around our Earth. It takes a month to go all the way around. When it is between us and the sun, we cannot see its bright side. We might think there is no moon. As the moon moves around, a little rim of light shows, and we say there is a new moon. Each night, the little rim gets bigger. When it is on the other side of us from the sun, we can see its whole face. We say the moon is full. As soon as the moon is full, it begins to grow smaller again. Every night the moon becomes smaller and smaller until at last all of it is in shadow once more. What is it like on the moon? Have you ever seen the face on the full moon? Perhaps you thought there was an old man who lived up there. The face on the moon is really great mountains and great holes in the ground. The moon has a day and a night, but one day on the moon is equal to 28 of our days. A day on the moon is more than twice as hot as our hottest day. Wow. The night is much colder than we ever know anywhere on Earth. There is no air on the moon. There is no rain or snow. There are no storms or weather of any kind. If you were able to visit the moon, you would find it very easy to move about. You would find that you could jump 6 times as high as you can on Earth. You could throw a ball 6 times as far. Your strides would be 6 times as long. But do not worry about how you would act on the moon. No one has ever been there. I guess this was released before there was landing on the moon. Clearly. What is the Big Dipper? Perhaps someone has pointed out the Big Dipper to you some starry night. It is a group of stars that is quite easy to find. It is shaped like a dipper. There are many groups of stars in the sky. In olden days, men made up stories about them and gave them names. The Big Dipper used to be called the Great Bear. I did not know that. The 4 square stars made the bear's body. The 2 end ones were his tail. The Big Dipper is a very useful group of stars. It tells direction. Sailors and other people traveling at night can tell from the Big Dipper which is the north. If you know the north direction, it is easy to find the south, the east, and the west. The 2 stars on the side of the Big Dipper, opposite to its handle, point to the North Star. When a sailor or a pilot finds out which direction is north, he can easily find the south, the east, and the west. How you doing, baby? You want me to continue on? Okay, it's only a little bit more. Okay, where are the stars in the daytime? The stars are up in the sky in the daytime, exactly as they are at night. We just do not see them. We do not see them because of the bright light of the sun. Did you ever light a tiny candle in a dark room? It may have seemed very bright and cheerful to you, but if someone suddenly switched on a bright electric light, your little candle would seem very pale. Perhaps you would hardly see it at all. If you have a light burning in a window in the daytime, you do not see it from the outside. But as soon as it gets dark, the light shows up bright and clear. That is how it is with the stars. The sun is so bright in the daytime that we do not see them. They are like the little candle beside the bright electric light. As the sun sets and its light fades, the stars begin to come out. As the sunlight goes away, the stars become brighter. On a clear night, they light up the sky. Are the stars higher than the clouds? Yes, the stars are much farther away than the clouds. You can see this for yourself if you watch the sky some night. You may be watching the stars when a fleecy cloud drifts by. For a while, you cannot see the stars, only the cloud. When the cloud has gone on its way, there are the stars again. If the stars were lower than the cloud would not hide them from view. You may have watched a cloud pass over the face of the moon. This shows you that the moon is higher than the clouds. You have seen a cloud pass over the sun and hide it for a while. Clouds are really quite close to the earth. They are never more than about 6 miles away. The stars are millions and millions of miles away. When we look at the sky, we see that some of the stars are much nearer than others. Some parts of the sky have many more stars than other parts have. Do stars move? Everything in the sky is moving at a fast rate. The stars, our sun, our moon, and our earth are all rushing around. You may wonder why things in the sky don't bump into each other. Have you ever played a game in which you joined hands with a group of children and went round in a ring? You held on tight with both hands and you went round faster and faster. Unless you let go, you didn't bump into anyone, did you? That is how it is with the stars. They move around each other in fixed paths. I did not know that. Wow. Of course they do not join hands, but they have a way of pulling and tugging at each other just the same. They never let go or come out of their places. They never bump into each other. The sky is so big that even if they did come out of their places, they would not bump into each other. What is a telescope? A telescope is a looking glass that makes faraway things seem near. It is shaped like a long tube. The looking glass is inside the tube. You look through one end of the tube and turn the other end towards the thing you want to see. If you had a telescope on a roof, you could look around at other buildings and they would seem very near. You might see them as plainly as if you were on top of them. Men have used telescopes to look at the stars for hundreds of years. That is how they have learned so much about the stars. Some telescopes are very large. They are kept in special buildings on the tops of high mountains where they can give us a good view of the sky. Try to look at the moon or a star through a telescope. Who are the weathermen? Did you think that the weathermen are the men who make the weather? They are not. They tell us about the weather. Men have been keeping records of the weather for a long time. They can tell what makes it behave the way it does. They know what makes the storms, the snow, and the rain. They know why the wind blows. They know that air moves in great whirls or moving circles across the earth. They can often tell in which direction the air is going to move. They know what will happen if a cold wind from the north is about to meet some warmer air. They know what to expect from some of the clouds. There are weathermen in all parts of the world. They keep in touch with each other. That is how they are able to tell us what kind of weather to expect. And that's it. Well, I was really expecting more of like a fantasy, like children's story. And I felt like I was reading a textbook. I feel like I was just transported back to elementary school, but I don't know. How do you feel, love? You feel lighter, actually? Good. You know what? It's weird. Like, I obviously was just guided to read that. I had no idea what to expect, and in some weird way, I feel like reading about all this cosmic stuff, about something that's bigger than us, I feel like that helped me and you, like just us, put things into perspective about how small we really are and about how small problems really are, because the world existence is just so vast. So that does make sense that you do feel a little lighter, and I'm glad that it helped. But I was definitely looking for more of a children's story fantasy, but maybe that's what you needed to hear, you know? Next time. Maybe next time I'll scan through. But I'm glad that you feel better, baby. Hey, how about you rest for a little bit, and later how about you and I have a FaceTime date at the park? Yeah, we can ground with the earth via FaceTime. I would love that. Do you want to do dinner at the park or eat and then go to the park? We could do dessert at the park, like ice cream. Actually, you know what? That's not important right now. Let's not worry about that. We can decide later. I just want you to rest. Okay? You love my long distance kisses. I love giving you long distance kisses too. I love you, baby. And remember, no matter how anxious you are or how tense you feel, I'm here. I'm here, love, okay? Okay. You go get some rest, and we'll meet up in a little bit over FaceTime. All right? Okay.